Well, I definitely didn't order a power supply. Oh, who would have guessed? It was my mouse that I bought. But the mouse isn't the most important thing here. It's the monitor. And now I am very excited about this because this is my first time having something that is like that high hertz and also being HDR. And now we're about to see what's inside this huge monitor box. Definitely not a monitor. Okay, what is this? Manual? Who cares? Cable. Is this just a normal cable? This is cool. This is my first ever DisplayPort cable, believe it or not. Wild. Power cable, standard stuff. Jeez, it was so locked in there. Oh, it's like the vertical thing that you put the monitor on. And then I assume this goes here and monitor. And this is the stand, I assume. Yeah. Here's the stand, alright. And now the monitor. I am not doing this right now. I will just drop it and it will break. And I don't want that. So, here, I got it out. Oh jeez, this thing is way too nice. I'm just gonna break it. In the meantime, I assembled the stand. And I gotta say, this is one of the best UX things I've ever seen. Like, this is a screw, but it also can be just screwed with your hands like this. You don't even need a screwdriver. That's very cool. I really like this because, well, I would normally use a screwdriver, but this is just way easier. And here she is. Oh, damn. It's actually fairly adjustable too. Like, oh, I can even do the portrait thing. However, now I'm gonna turn it on. I already connected it to power and I didn't connect it to power. There. And we turn it on. Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god, I was just pressing the wrong button. So, you have a couple buttons here and I was pressing this one. And this is the power button. Let's just forget about all of the UX things that I said and yeah. And in a second it should just... Hey, Windows. Okay, well, my Alters instance had some kind of HDR installation and now I'm running it to see how it looks. Just seeing from this map. I mean, I did want to buy some HDR just so I can see if this is something that I would really want, but for now I'm not seeing much of a benefit. I mean, I'm only looking from my recording on my phone, so that may be also contributing towards the displeasure. What also could be contributing to the displeasure is that HDR only loads when I set the display refresh rate to 60 Hz. Otherwise, the HDR just disables itself and it goes back to being 8-bit. I will look at the maps and shit here off recording and then say if I see a noticeable difference. Okay, so I launched a Gristronics replay and I don't know if it's gonna show up here. But yeah, I think you can see the parts that are really bloomy sometimes. Ooh, like that. I don't know, that just looks funny. I tweaked a bunch of settings. I don't know if it's better, but I don't know if it's better, but my opinion is that it looks a bit better. Man, this phone doesn't really like to record in 4K. I know, for me it looks fine the way it is. It actually looks a bit better than previously. I like it. There we go, now this is my main display and yep, it looks pretty alright. As you can see, 1440p. However, it's running at 60 Hz and I can do all the way up to 144. I assume because it's in 1440p and just bandwidth. I assume if I change it to 1080p then it will have the 200 Hz abilities. Will we? No, we're just limited to... 1 second, I'll try to figure out the maximum refresh rate that I can push. Unfortunately, I was skimming through this and I don't know if it's my HDMI cable limitation or what, but none of the modes here support 120 Hz, which is still good, but this monitor said that it can do 200. So it is most likely either a port in here that is way too low spec, or the cable that I'm using to connect to my laptop, which is by itself low spec. But if it's not the cable, then yeah, you're on your way out, buddy. Come on, focus, come on. What the fuck? Yeah. Okay, I've had a second look at the sheet. The monitor at best supports 2.0. However, the cable that they got me was probably this one, and I'm pretty much seeing the effect of this, because yeah, 1440 Hz is on yes over here, and 144 Hz it's barely, like only at 420 color setting. However, 240, yeah, it's a no. It's just not gonna do it. So I assume that actually it was the cable skill issue, because it can't. However, it should be also possible that if I use my old computer that does have a DisplayPort, now we're looking at the DisplayPort spec, then it should be, yeah. If the cable is good, and we have this one, or this one, then we should be able to comfortably run at 144 Hz at 1440p. And 165 should also work, and 240 will have display stream compression on HBR2, and if we have worst case scenario it's just HBR, then we also get display stream compression. We just have to hope that it's not RBR, which does not support it completely. So I will go try it out on my old computer now. See you in a bit. Oh my god, we're back on my old PC with god-awful Windows 11. Oh boy. And yep, with DisplayPort we do indeed have 200 Hz. Okay, maybe this computer is slightly struggling to keep the 200 FPS, but man, looking at stuff at 200 Hz, it's not that much different from 144 that I'm used to on my laptop. It's still very buttery smooth though. Like, oh, it's so I love this. I love how smooth it is. I wanna see how it handles this shit. Oh my. Still 100. For this piece of shit? That's pretty good. Right now I'm trying to see if there is any compression, because I think I saw a little bit of it. Now I just want to confirm it. God damn it! Shut the fuck up, you're so loud. Yeah, that was actually loud. So yeah, I was trying to look up close if there is like any compression that I could see. Oh, also this still runs at 90 FPS, what the hell? Yeah, but I think there might be I don't know. It all looks good to me, so I don't know. That only means one thing: I won't be able to get 200 Hz on my laptop anytime soon. Unless if I maybe perchance buy a HDMI cable that will support it. And it's already paid and will come tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Oh, it finally came. Here it is. Also, you might have noticed, I have two hands free now, because I found my old... Wow, there is just a hole in the packaging? I did not expect that. Here it is. Alright. Time to rip the cable out. Heck yeah, we're back. Alright, refresh it 144 Hz. Does it increase? No! So it's probably the connection in the lab. Well, that was fun. And unfortunately, nothing special on the RTX 3050. Wow, that's kinda garbage. It can only do 120. That is sad. What this means is that I need... Oh my god, focus, what the fuck? Unfortunately, that means I do need DisplayPort, which is kinda sad. That sucks a lot. Okay, I went back to the original sheet of every single supported display resolution along with the maximum refresh rate. We are aiming at 8-bit because we're not using HDR, and 484p, so right here. And we see that up to 15 gigabits per second or 16, we only have 160 hertz, which is just barely below 165, so no. And unfortunately, this means that we are in this class 2.0, which means that this is completely, I guess, inaccurate. Okay, well, it says that it technically can do 240 high color compression. However, it just doesn't say that here, so I have no idea who to trust. I'm just gonna trust this table, which this means that we'll never be getting anything higher than that, because here, another standard, 21 gigabits per second. No, none of those. And it can only do up to 209, which technically would be within spec for this monitor. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of having 21 gigabits per second. So HDMI is a bust on here. Sad. Oh well, at least I tried. Okay, I switched it to 1080p and I tried to making a custom resolution. It kinda worked! Don't worry, I didn't completely fry my monitor, but yeah. I managed to do this, and this doesn't work, so I'll keep trying to fuck with it. Okay, got a bit closer. This is 1080p at 165 Hz. So, still pretty good. It's actually a bit more smooth than normal. Oh yes, I already like this. But it's not as fast. Oh yes, I managed to get it to 180 Hz. While the laptop is struggling with the graphics settings that I have applied, which are pretty much maxed out, then oh my god, it looks so smooth though, what the fuck? And fairly sharp too, even for 1080p, like, this is so crazy. And here is the finished setup. So this is the monitor I unboxed, my laptop, which is kinda on its deathbed now, the new keyboard I showed off in one of my newer FNF videos, this is the mouse that I unboxed earlier, some bullshit mic, cam, and my 5.1 speaker set, my hub over here, where I have free USB 3.1 Gen 2 I guess, and the HDMI here, which actually plugs into the dedicated graphics card, which is actually pretty cool. You know, on laptops it usually connects to the integrated one, but that one actually goes straight to the RTX graphics, which very cool. I'll definitely be getting a VR headset with HDMI just for it. So yeah, thanks for watching I guess, and see ya.